Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is Business Connect. My name is Roy, and if this is your first time live on this channel, we do videos here on business development, entrepreneurship, social development, and also I share with you interesting vlogs about things happening here in China. I share with you my experience here in China. First, I was an international student, and now I'm an expert working in China. So I share with you interesting information about my experience here in China. So recently on the channel, we've talked a lot about the return of international students to their various countries where they were studying before the outbreak of the pandemic. We've talked a lot about China, and in this video, we will be going to another country. We'll be talking about Australia, and we will be giving you details on what the Australian government is doing on the return of international students. And you know, there is one thing peculiar about our channel. We don't only give you news, we analyze news. So in today's edition, we will not be talking about just how an Australian state have announced how it's going to bring back its international student, but we are going to be analyzing what can we learn, or what can other countries learn from this move made by Australia. If this is your first time on the channel, don't leave this video without hitting that subscription button so that each time we bring interesting videos like this, YouTube will notify you and you will be the first to watch our videos. I'll see you in a bit. So before we go into the video, I would like you to understand that Australia is one of the top travel destinations for international students. Australia comes amongst the top travel destinations. So a move by Australia will trigger a lot from other top destinations like the United States, Canada, the UK, and China as well. Another thing that I would like you to note here by this announcement is that New South Wales, which is the state that have announced a pilot program to bring back international students, New South Wales is one of the top destinations for international students in Australia. This state alone hosts above 260,000 international students. So a move by this state will mean a lot to the rest of the other states in Australia. And also another thing that I would like us to pick out from this news item is that China is one of the top countries with international students in Australia. China alone has over 200,000 international students in Australia, followed by Nepal, India, and Brazil. So you see that something that affects international students in Australia will greatly affect international students in China. You know, if the Australian government is announcing a pilot program like this to welcome back international students, with Chinese students going to benefit even more than other international students, how do you think China will react to this news? Like if more than 200,000 international students are benefiting from such an amazing step taken by the Australian government, do you think China will not learn something from this news for its over 500,000 international students? These are some of the things that I like us to pick out from news items like this. You know, on this channel, like I said, we don't only bring to you news, but we analyze news. So I'd like you to let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because this is what we do on the channel. All right, so I just wanted to give you a few tips before we go into the details of the news. Now that you have a few tips, let's dive into the details of the news, like how does Australia plan to bring back over 250,000 students back to Australia? How is the program going to be done? I'm going to be giving you details on how the Australian government has put this all on plan. Okay, now about this Australian news, this is what the New South Wales government is planning to do. All the students will arrive Australia in a chartered flight, in one flight. Students from all over the country will arrive Australia in one chartered flight, and they will be taken to a centralized quarantine accommodation built by the universities, built by the government. And one thing that you have to notice is that the security has been made known to the public, that the police will take care of this student, their bills, and everything about their quarantine expenditures will be covered by the universities. The students will be taken to the centralized quarantine accommodations, where they will be lodged for over 2 weeks, for over 14 days before being released to their universities. Okay, more details. They said this program will start in 6 weeks' time, and each flight will be able to bring in 250 students per flight. And by the end of the year, they will scale up to be bringing 500 students per flight. So you see how detailed and well organized such a program is, bringing students into the country through chartered flights and taking them to centralized quarantine systems, taking care of their bills, their lodging, and everything. And after taking their test and seeing that they are free, then they will be released to their universities to continue their studies like every other student. Okay, another thing that you need to pick out from this news, Australia is not only bringing back international students to the country, they are bringing back also other Aussies who are also stuck out of the country. And they have made it clear that this will not be at the expense of Aussies, because they will continue to bring back 3,000 Australians or Aussies who are stuck out of the country. So this will not be at the expense of their own citizens. And there's a statement they made at the end of this article that I don't want to miss out any of the words. So I would like to read it out, word verbality, the way it is, because when I read this article, it really touched me. So I would like to read this out to you exactly the way they made it out in this news article. And they said, this program has carefully considered the personal, social, and academic aspects of our students to ensure they successfully resume their studies and rejoin the NSW's vibrant multicultural community as soon as possible. So you see, they value their international students. So they've been doing everything possible to bring them back. And you see, they have laid out a well-explained program on how they plan to bring back their international students, which they say clearly that they value these students. So you see how a country really values its international students, bringing out a clear program to the public on how it plans to bring back students on chartered flights, taking them to centralized quarantine system, taking all the bills, and giving a clear program on how they are going to bring back over 50,000 international students. Not doing things behind students' back and keeping students in the blues, and students are just waiting for the mercies of God. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Business Connect. Like I said, on this channel, we don't bring to you news. We analyze news. We bring to you the news behind the news. So if this is your first time on our channel, don't leave this video without hitting that subscription button, because we bring to you interesting news like this. We bring to you vlogs in China, and also I share with you videos on social development, entrepreneurship, and business development. I'll see you in our next video. Peace out and bye-bye. Stay awesome and be blessed.